So much for being here. The first song we want to play tonight kind of has not been much weather this year here in West Texas. It's called On a Snowy Winter's Eve, so I guess we'll just have to imagine that, right? So here it goes. Here's Snowy Winter's Eve by David Staper. is going to direct the band while I read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" to the little ones down here on the steps.
He was dressed all
and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler, just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself.
The next song we're going to play is from the movie The Polar Express, and it's really one of the neat movies, and it has a great message to it. It just really neat. Kids have fun playing it, and so here is themes from The Polar Express. have several things I need to announce and all. First of all, this last weekend we took a bunch of students to the All-Region tryouts, and we had 11 students make the All-Region band and also qualify for the area auditions that happened in January for All-State. We want to introduce those students, have those students stand here. On flute, we had Tristan Casarena. Also on flute, Faith Engelbrecht. On clarinet, we had Katie McKay. Also on clarinet, Emily Lusk. On trumpet, we had Caden Kaufman. Also on trumpet, Kyler Barrington. On French horn, we had Payson Kitchens. On tuba, we had Tyson Barber. Also on tuba, we had Jasper Cornett. On percussion, we had Colton Outland. Also on percussion, Lynn Carlson. So it's so great. We've had several things that happened this last month, and a month ago, or less than a month ago, we were out on football field marching and all. And I think one of the greatest things that we were able to do was to bring some joy to the people of Andrews. I think in the spirit of this season, I think that's just one of the special things that we were able to do. I want to go ahead and have the students that were able to go and perform at that Andrews march in that Andrews parade. Would you guys go ahead and stand so we can recognize you guys? The students asked me if I thought, what I think of the parade. Well, I can tell you this, I guess sometimes my age has a lot of them recognize me as a band director marching along with them. And it was really interesting to watch the young ones with the biggest smiles on their faces, seeing all these instruments go by. And the older ones, the tears in their eyes, just being thankful for having all those people in that experience. This is going to be something that our students will remember for the rest of their lives, marching with we actually figured out is a little over 1,300 students that marched in that parade with it. So that's going to be a really great thing. I do want to thank our administration, the principals, I want to thank the principals and superintendent for all the great support that we've had this semester. There's just been so many great things that we've had. I do want to introduce the the rest of my staff. We have Mrs. Summersgill, and she's subbing for us on bass clarinet. You saw Mr. Oliver helping with the jazz band.
I'm up here.
It is so neat to have just a very, very talented percussionist on staff helping our students in this quarter. We come to the end of our concert tonight. I saved this for last because this one really embodies what Christmas is all about. It's a Christmas collection with joy to the world, as with gladness, deck the halls with childless this, and will come all you faithful. Here is a Christmas collection arranged by Elliot Dorbo.